Beautiful hearts, welcome to this episode of Quantum Conversations where we are activating our intuition. This is that knowingness that we know within ourselves. Nothing outside of us will give us the answers, but the wisdom within us is what we know. We've heard this from spiritual teachers across all fronts, and my guest today is Bevan, who is an Akashic teacher, a spiritual activator, and she's here to activate your intuition. Hi, Bevan. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here today.
As we start talking about our intuition, this is really an important piece of living in today's world with the chaos that is going on outside of us. Where do we find the peace? That peace is found within us, and the
hmm
information is within us. Before we get to that, I'd like you to share your story of awakening that led you to understand how powerful intuition is. Can you share that with us?
I would love to. I had a bit of a rough time with my awakening because I had a series of traumatic events that sort of proved to me that everything was not what we were taught to believe it was, that there was a lot more out there than what meets the eye. And as I'm following this priestess path of Isis, I've also been through this really deep initiation of having people in my life who go against my intuition, so that I can learn to have that undeniable trust.
Wow. Okay, so share that juicy story because first start by saying, can you give us a time frame? Because I find it so uncanny, the awakening process for people. Here we are in the end of 2025, almost 2026 now.
Mhm.
And the time window of 2010, 2012, 2013, that was a big acceleration. Where does this fall for you in your awakening? Where were these moments of intensity for your awakening? Do you recall?
I don't have an exact date for my original awakening, but I want to say that it was like 2013. It started to get really loud for me in 2017.
And so by getting really loud, that seems like you were maybe an opportunity to get hit over the head with a 2x4, figuratively speaking, until you really get that. But I want to say that you had people on your path that were going against your intuitive flow.
Yes,
Share
I
more on
did.
that because that itself was a catalyst, right?
I have had a lot of astrologers tell me that I have this betrayal pattern in my chart. So I tend to attract karmic partners and karmic family, and then they will either try to make me deny my intuition or try to tell me that it's not real. So it it has led me on some interesting journeys. One specifically, I had a boyfriend who was cheating on me, and I kept seeing him cheating on me. So I asked him, and he would say no, but he ended up showing me pictures, and it was all the stuff that I saw in my head because we had an argument, and it was a really, really hard time for me.
Yes, okay, so that betrayal, that hits to the core, doesn't it? And so here you are. You're your own fine case in point when you're seeing images. Were you seeing in your third eye? You were seeing it, and that's why you asked the question, right? And
Exactly.
so for him to deny it, but then he showed you pictures that confirmed exactly what you were seeing.
Yes. Well, we had an argument a few weeks later, and then he used the pictures as ammunition. So I'm grateful for this situation because I never ever ignore my intuition anymore. I always believe 100% what I'm being shown in here, which was
Wow.
not the case before that. So thank you to him.
Yeah, that's a healthy way to look at it. Thank you to him for being that actor who allowed you to trust your intuition, because in hindsight, hindsight's 2020, right? And
Yeah.
so that was a powerful lesson.
It
So,
was a powerful lesson, and it also led me to say, like, okay, there's millions of women and men who are intuitive, but they shouldn't have to go through that type of experience to trust themselves.
yeah, yeah. Um, so did you see when you were overriding your intuition? And so now you know what it means when you get an intuitive hit. Like you're
Hmm.
not going to override it anymore. How is it different than like other thoughts of worry or insecurity? How do you decipher between those, your intuition, what you know, and what might be something the ego makes up?
That's a really good question. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And for me, my intuition lands in my body in certain places. So if I have a vision, it's always landing here. If I'm having a deep knowing, it's coming out of my heart. If I'm having some kind of a ego loop or invalid information, as I would call it, it feels like a nervousness or a scaredness coming all over my body. It's not direct.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you're able to determine by bodily sensations. And I just want to clarify that if it's worry or fear, it's all over your body, almost
Everywhere, yeah.
like a nervous system kind of like ah. So you know that that's like what is that then? Hyperactivity, like ah.
I would say it's definitely a few different areas of the brain that get stuck in loops and they try to tell you that you are unsafe when in fact you are totally fine. Um, so that's just trauma that's been stored in the body. So my number one block to intuition is fear of being wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
fear of
Um,
being wrong.
yeah, and basically the body stores that kind of a signal from instances when you were maybe in your childhood or past lifetimes when you were wrong and you did get in trouble. So that would be my number one block to intuition. And it has also been a journey to unravel that one. Um, but I think another thing is with intuition, just having the space and the time dedicated to receiving messages that you ask clear questions to receive the answers is a really big, big thing because if you're just receiving a bunch of random signals, you're not going to have the clarity as if you were to create space and time and presence. And intuition is really about developing a deep relationship with yourself, your body, and your guides.
All right, and you're going to lead us on a journey today with your guide so we can experience a little bit about that. And this is something that you teach now on the planet. You're on a mission to work with women,
Yes.
primarily women. I mean, this is designed for women so that we can really tap into that. And what is it about a woman's intuition that you've discovered?
Um, I want to say all women out there are intuitive. Just some women, they want to see that, and some women don't. Um, but I think as a woman in my life, on my journey, if I didn't actually have my intuition, I would not be here today. I wouldn't be here at all.
Wow. Okay. So,
I also I have worked with men in the past, but I have noticed recently this last year in my work that I'm feeling more called to work with women who want to activate other women. And when you go really deep into my programs, I am working through the ancestral trauma of women so that they can activate their lineage gifts and step in as the matriarch for their family, for New Earth, and bring in their New Earth contracts for their lineage. So I'm very excited to be working with women, sorry, men.
Yes, all right. That is beautiful. So then it brings up what is stored within us and where we've shut it down. Are you able to see where women shut down their intuition? I mean, I'm thinking that just walking in this life, we shut it down or override it for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
I want to say it's different for everyone, but I think there is a lot of people, especially in the millennial age group, that they had soul contracts to shut their intuition down around 3 or 4 years old and to bring it back around the age of 30 somewhere. So,
Okay. All right. So as we go on a journey, um, how do you connect with your guides? Can you share what that was like as you listened to your guides, as you first recognized your guides, and how did you trust that information?
well, in 2017, I met my main spirit guide, Jesus, and he just started showing up in my apartment every day. And I could like see him and have conversations with him, which was like completely out of the norm for me. I thought I was going nuts. And he kept telling me, "You're going on a trip to Egypt in 3 weeks and there's going to be 98 people there." And I was like, No, because I had $0. It was an impossible thing. And 3 weeks later, I was there in Egypt with 98 people going on a trip.
Okay, how did that come about? That is wild. That is incredible. And so that was, okay, that's your guide telling you something, but it's also working through your intuition. Tell me how that landed in your body, and actually tell me the details of how did that come about?
At
Wow.
first, looking back in hindsight, it landed like very calm and cool. And I freaked out because at that time, my intuition was like at the level of, I don't know, automatic writing or like, talking to fairies and angels. And it was very not seeing things in my reality, talking to me, having full conversations. So my first initial reaction was I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, do you think I should like go to the hospital?" And she said no because they won't let you leave if you tell them the story.
They'll probably put you on psychosis drugs.
Yeah. That's what she said. So she came to my
Sadly,
house.
sadly, that happens when people have awakenings, especially women. Go ahead, go ahead.
She came to my house and she had a bag of pink salt and she just started throwing salt everywhere and she was like, "I'm just gonna like cleanse your house for you and we'll see what happens."
You are so fortunate to have a mom on board like that, so supportive. That gave you an incredible leg up then. So she's a spiritual person, but yet
She
you
is.
found this in your own way. She was there as support later. Yeah, you
Yes.
did find this in your own way then.
But later I had learned that she had been working with a healer on me, getting me sessions remotely through this healer. So it may all be tied together. It's probably all tied
Yes,
together. Yeah.
yes.
And then sadly, shortly after that, my grandma died, and I had the $10,000 to go to Egypt, and I went.
Ah, thank you for sharing that story. Okay, incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So I guess a lesson is not to question the how it's going to come about,
Mm-mm.
right? But just to feel the feeling of that happening. That's almost like a quantum experience, isn't it?
It
So
is, yeah.
you were very open and you felt that calmness in your body, but you didn't. question it too much. You just allowed it to happen.
I don't know if I had a choice. It was definitely happening. It was happening.
Wow. Okay. So then what was that trip like in Egypt? How did that must have activated you and your priestessness?
It was amazing. We toured the whole Nile. We went into the Great Pyramid at 3 a.m. to do a big meditation in the King's Chamber. I met one of my best friends who lives like a few hours away from me, and their grandma also died last minute so they could go on the trip. It was very strange and very magical. It was life-changing.
Do you feel that your grandmother and maybe her grandmother on the other side were giving a gift?
I don't know, but I like to think they were up there laughing about it.
Doing a little yay happy dance. It
Yeah.
worked. They get to go play and enjoy. Yeah,
Hmm.
very, very happy by that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there, we would like a little journey to see like what it is for us to tap into this intuition, what
Okay.
that is like for us. Can you lead us on a little mini journey so we can experience this intuition ourselves and how to tap into it?
Yeah, I would love to.
Excellent. Okay, Bevan.
All right. So if you just want to get comfy, you could close your eyes or keep them open. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to start bringing our energy back into our bodies, and I will just facilitate whatever the guides are bringing through for us. So just taking a few deep breaths into your body, filling up your belly with air, just feeling that breath in your body. So we start to call back all of our energies, all of everyone's energy comes back inside their own body, grounding everyone's energy to the earth and calling in their higher self and their own angelic team to liaise with my angelic team. And as we get everyone nice and focused in their body and grounded to the earth, we want to bring in an energy to everyone's heart space. So just breathing deeply into your body as we start to connect you into this energy now. And we're just going to bring that energy of source straight into the body and just get you tapped in to source and let that energy start to travel up into your mind's eye. So just bringing your intuitive senses online, just giving your pineal gland a little scrub. So, a pattern that we see commonly in people who shut down their intuition is this pattern of overthinking. And right now, we just want to get all of the gunk out of everyone's third eye. And we're just going to also be activating everyone's life force energy. And while this energy is just running through our bodies, clearing out any debris or dissonance, we want to bring everyone just cleansing out some more energies, some past life energies. So we have more guides joining the group now. We have Elohim beings coming into the group to sort of going through their Akashic files right now. Ooh, there's a lot of gunk in here. There's a lot of black past lives that we're going to be working through the energy of, because the guides are saying everyone who will be watching this recording, their biggest block to the intuition is being afraid to be seen, being powerful. So we want to clear that before we bring you into your intuition. Okay. So now that we have these blocks out of the way, we are just going to start bringing everyone's higher self into their body. And as you start to feel your higher self dropping down into your body, you're going to start to notice that your breathing shifts a little. And as you breathe in, you're going to start breathing in information. And the deeper that you breathe, the more information you're going to access. And you'll notice that your breath starts to travel to a place in your body now. And that breath is going to travel into the area where your strongest intuition lives. And as you breathe and you acclimate and you adjust, your brain is going to start making new neural pathways and patterns for you. And as you continue to breathe, your higher self is going to start to make some minor adjustments in your body right now. Just making some minor adjustments. If you need to wiggle or yawn or sneeze, go right ahead. And as we start to open up this space, you might start to receive some feelings, some messages, some deep, deep knowing, some smells, some taste, or you might even be seeing a person or feeling a person. There is no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong way for this information to flow to you. And even if you don't receive much, it's so good just to be receiving this energy right now and feeling that love in your body and just getting safe in your body. And as you feel very, very safe in your body, we are going to be bringing you back down into your body as this activation is going to be working on you for the next several days. So, just bringing everyone back inside of their bodies now, bringing you back to everyday awareness, bringing you back into this galaxy and this dimension. Okay. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, wiggle your fingers, go back to your normal breath if you choose.
Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. All right. So that is our connection. That is our connection to the quantum. And what can we expect to happen from this?
I think over the next several days, if you are a person who wants to receive intuition, my advice would be to make some space for it, even if it's like 5 to 10 minutes. Just like sit by yourself, take a deep breath into your heart, and ask your intuition, like, what do you have for me today? Or what does a full body yes feel like for me? And what am I saying yes to today? Yeah.
Yes, I love that. What does a full body yes feel like? Yeah, we can feel that right now, right? We can feel that. So this is this is what it is. It's noticing the frequencies in our body. It's really, for me, it feels like it's like the heart center. What do you feel the most when you're doing this? Is it like the heart center, or what is that for you?
I I usually feel it in my third eye.
Yes.
The heart center is feeling really good right now because we put source energy straight into the heart. So we are amplifying that source connection to bring through the clarity and the trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if people have doubts, what do you say, or what's a good practice for them to overcome their doubts? Again, hindsight, living through our lives helps us see where we overrode our intuition.
Mhm.
But what can we do to preempt it, to really just, again, we're feeling it, right? So if we say, for example, oh, grab your umbrella, you better grab your umbrella.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we get lazy and we're like, no, I don't need an umbrella. And so those experiences help us to understand that was my intuition. But at what point do you know beyond a shadow of a doubt? Like, are you aware of that now? Like, do you really fully get that when it's like, that is my intuition? Because you're
Mhm.
so dialed into the feeling, right?
Yeah. Um, I mean, that was a few questions, so I'll start at the beginning. I guess there's a few different types of doubts that can come up. Number one being like doubting if you should share this information with other people. And that is totally fine because you want your intuition to be received by the right people for the message. So if you're new to this, my advice would be to find a safe person that is interested in intuition to share your messages with so they can be excited for you. Another doubt we see a lot in this class is when people start to receive like the full sentences of information, they are like, there's no way that I know all that stuff because that doesn't make any sense. Like, where did that come from? How am I doing this? And that's okay. But remember, you are doing it and it is happening and it's for you. So you don't have to be scared about it.
So it's almost like, so you had mentioned automatic writing, and
Mhm,
that's one way to bring forward the information. So as we breathe in information and we connect up to the higher realms, now we can speak that information, right? And so
mhm,
I guess as we're speaking it, we have to get out of our own way and let that come through. And then we're like, well, and I love that where you're like, "Oh, how did I say that? That's not me." But that's the very point when we look back at what we wrote, or if we listen to a recording of what we said.
mhm,
And oftentimes, isn't it uncanny how we can write in our journal and then the journal falls open to that page when we need that channeled writing right then in that moment? That is our guides working with us. So I
mhm,
find those instances miraculous, actually, right? So that's our intuition. We can call it channeling if we want, but it's
mhm.
the same as intuition, right?
Yeah, it's one and the same. I feel like with channeling, you might be receiving guidance from something outside of yourself, like an extraterrestrial or an ascended master. And with intuition, it's coming from inside of you.
It's our soul, it's our higher self, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So as you've helped women open this up, how has that changed their lives? What transformation have you seen?
I noticed a trend this year as well where all of the women who came into my class had fears around visibility and putting themselves out there online, which we know in this day and age is something that we must do pretty much. Um, so we were dismantling these different layers of being afraid to be seen for the various girls in the group, and they show up in weird ways. Like some of the things were like a fear of not being obedient to the parents, or like a fear of standing out. Even we had one girl who said, I would never wear mismatched socks in public because I would stand out. So obviously, being seen and sharing her voice on the internet would be a little difficult for her if she can't wear mismatched socks. So we're really working through those deep blocks that prevent us from getting on the path of our highest alignment. And we're getting really deep in touch with our higher self and our guides so we know the path that we're supposed to be on. We know that we're aligned. Mhm.
Yeah, we know that we're aligned. We want that. And it's a really important time on our planet. So this is important now because there's so much information out there in the world, isn't there? There's so much misinformation, disinformation, information overwhelm.
Yeah,
And it's kind of crazy in that sense. So do you feel it's almost like a choice point for people to come inside so deeply that that is the importance of following that inner compass beyond anything else?
I feel like there's a lot of women out there right now that have access to their intuition, but they don't trust it. And they know that they want to show up and share their magic with the world. And they've been taking the steps, but they're not getting very far. And I would love to help those women take the aligned actions and trust themselves and um, activate all the people they're meant to serve and find their soul family. After I found my soul family, my life changed because I had that betrayal pattern. I had never experienced like true unconditional love and support and friendship. And like after finding my soul family, I feel like my life changed so much that I also have it in the intentions of this container that people find their soul family and that their soul family comes into their life so they can receive that same kind of support and love because I think it's much needed on this journey as well.
Yes, thank you for that. You are on a mission to assist women to overcome these challenges of being seen. You know, it's like there's 10 of them that we can identify. We don't have to go into them now, but it is all of these fears of fear of speaking up, fear of being heard, fear of being seen, fear of not having clarity of what's going on in their life or having too many ideas,
Too
right?
many ideas.
So too
Yeah.
many ideas. And so this is a way for us to hone in and get clear on our mission and our purpose so that we can show up in the world to make that great change. So this is a program that you're offering. I'd like for you to tell us about this and all the elements that are within it because you're calling this level one Gateway, and it's the Akashic Heart Alchemy Gateway.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about this course, why it's so important, and what it offers?
Okay. I think that I've noticed a trend out there of people getting like tons of certifications and continuing to post on social media and seeing like some great results, but not the results that they're expecting or anticipating for. So, part of this container is really getting deep into your nervous system, expanding it outwards, and really getting inside yourself enough that you see your vision of your mission and then you're also creating that and bringing it into your life because I feel a lot of people they don't know how to consciously create. They know how to work out of like, oh my god, am I going to fail again? Am I going to sign the clients? Like the stress, and I don't we don't want that for we don't want anyone to be stressed. We want people to feel good. It's all about how good can you feel in your body? How magical can your life be? How supported can you feel by the people in your group, in your bubble?
Yes, yes. And so, what happens in these group settings then? Can you walk us through a little bit of the teachings and what we experience in these meetings?
Mhm. Sure. I feel every girl every woman in the course is going to have like an initial session with me where we can just tap into their intuition and see how it flows through their body. So some people, they are people who will receive a feeling that is then backed up by a knowing and a smell. Or they might be someone who receives a vision that is accompanied by feelings and words. But until you know how your intuition likes to be received and heard, you might be trying to force clairvoyance and shutting your entire intuition down, because that's not exactly how it works in your body. So we're going to be getting a clear direction of the intuitive pathway through our body and then harnessing all of the energy that we are transmuting in the group sessions and using that energy for creation. Um, and in the group sessions, which there will be six, as it's 6 weeks, we're going to be meeting up as the group. We'll be sharing about, triggers, things we experienced in the last class. We'll do a nice share circle, have a little healing experience, and then we will go into the Akashic records to ask questions for ourselves and start learning how to use the intuition. And because I work with the higher guides and also source energy and Kundalini activation, in the healing sessions, we are going to be, I want to say, unearthing the deeper blocks in the body layer. So they just won't exist in your body anymore, which makes a lot of space in the mind, which can be quite nice.
Body liberation as well. Okay. So this is very valuable because once we identify, so working with you one-on-one to identify where the intuition lands in our body, how we're receiving it, through which clair are we receiving it? Clairvoyance, clairaudience, the smell, like you said, or the knowingness. That right there is really powerful in how we can move forward because as you said, it's different for everyone. So
Mhm.
then we're not going to override those feelings. So, like if we get a, a visitation, let's say from one of our guides, then we absolutely know what is going on. And I'm thinking back to just an experience I had the other day, and I did know beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is Saint Germain. And so, how did I know that? It was just a knowingness. It was
Yeah.
a feeling of elation for me. So then, there, right there, I am a clairsentient. I think I'm a clairsentient because I've just known.
Mhm.
And so, my mind right now is struggling to say, well, but the ego can come in and trample its muddy boots all over it. But this is the point. So, that's really powerful. And I can see how that empowers us.
Yes.
It
And
empowers us.
we will also be learning some reparenting techniques in the class so that when our ego does come in, we have the ability to give ourselves what we need and we can calm down and regulate.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. All right. So that you said this is going on for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks. Okay. Details are on this webpage for those who would like to join. And can you imagine what happens after 6 weeks? The transformation of the women that you've assisted, can you share what they've experienced after coming out the other side of this?
Yeah, definitely. Um, I want to say in the last container that I ran, we had a few different like archetypes of women. And what I noticed the most with the love and light girlies is that they had deep, deep clarity and they were able to clearly channel out of their mouth, spoken word channeling. Whereas before they were just writing down like point form answers. And with some of the girls who were afraid to be seen, I did notice an up track in their followers online. And
Ah,
then,
interesting.
yes, it is interesting. For the other ones, we did also notice a really deep ancestral connection. So we had one woman in there who was really learning to get in touch with her lineage. And she had a really powerful experience where she started to get direct communication from her ancestors in her native tongue. And she could also see them and feel them around her. And her mission is very much tied to ancestral healing and clearing. So it was very big for her. It was a big moment. Yeah.
Okay. So the intuition and our knowingness within is coming forward so that we can be on purpose in our life and
Mm-hmm.
direct our purpose to serve others. Yeah, I know many are going to want this and are excited for it. Thank you for that. So, anything else you'd like to say about the course or the personal session?
Um, I just want to say in this course, I've decided to add in the manifestation factor, how to manifest. That's going to be the weekly homework is little somatic and manifestation challenges. And I'm really looking forward to see what we can create and how big the vortex gets in this container. So I'm really excited. Um, yeah, I'm really feeling happy. I'm feeling like the people who are coming for the container, and yeah, we're expecting big things. So please come with an open mind.
Come with an
As
open mind, come with an open heart,
yeah,
and get ready to accelerate.
yes.
Wow. Okay. I want to direct everyone to the link that's on this webpage. Check it out and review this. Now, there's two options. One is for the course, the 6-week course, which includes a personal session. But if you would just like a personal session, then that is available as well. Would
Mhm.
you like to share any more thoughts on both of these options?
Well, for the personal session, I'd say this is a longer, in-depth personal session because what we're going to be doing is identifying an unconscious story that's keeping you stuck. And then we are going to be using hypnosis and also Kundalini activation to rewrite that story at the root in space and time and get the trauma out of your body so that you can choose a new story and hopefully accelerate in your life.
Okay, excellent. Kundalini activations. How, I know there's some people that just have these spontaneously, but
Mhm.
how does an actual Kundalini activation help this process?
Okay, so a lot of people have their Kundalini dormant, and your Kundalini is basically your life force energy. It's at the bottom of your spine. And when you activate it, you start to get more energy, and your energy will instinctively balance your masculine and feminine. So you have more harmony in your life. And if you're somebody who's on that like social media hamster wheel trying to create your dream life, stuck in masculine energy, the Kundalini will be like, no, not anymore. You're going feminine.
Ah,
Yes. So it will balance you out and it will give you the energy to do the stuff and things. And it'll get you excited to do things and stuff again.
how do you activate Kundalini?
Um, well, I did my Kundalini training in Ecuador 2 years ago now, and it's something that is an energy within you. So once you connect to that energy, you can just sort of start directing it through your body, through your chakras, and it will start to take out the trauma. And it will actually get your spine like back in alignment if your spine is off. Eventually, through the Kundalini process, your spine will straighten out and your posture will become good. And it's very magical. It gets you into alignment.
Wow. I've heard stories of spines actually, I don't want to say cracking, but it's almost like when you get an adjustment, chiropractic adjustment, that's what's happening because it's energy. So if there's a blockage anywhere in there, could we feel pain in the body as this is happening?
You could, but I've noticed with my journey and others as well that if you do feel a bit of initial pain, it's because you were already in pain for a long time and that's going to go away now. Most people experience hot and cold, tingling, a lot of colors or visions or um, spontaneous activation of their clairs, deep
And
connection to love and source resonance.
deep connection to love and source resonance and an excitement and a joy for being present, right? There's just an
Yeah.
excitement that comes with it. Okay, so very cool. Bevan, is there anything else you'd like to share about the opportunity that people have to work with you in this way?
I mean, I think we've pretty much covered everything. I'm just again sending that invitation out there to attract the soul family groups and people with open hearts and open minds. I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and I really look forward to working with you in the future. And you, Lauren, or Lauren, and I don't know how to pronounce which way, sorry.
First say,
And
Lorette, you said it. Yeah.
Lauren, right? Yeah. And also everybody else watching this. And I mean, I hope to be back in 2026 with some light language classes to teach light language. So stay tuned for that.
Wow. Okay. Good, 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 good. We're so excited for this. And so, the perfect person for you, who is this good for? Who is this good for? Can you describe some type of people who would really benefit?
I would say the collective of people that I'm currently working with is the high priestesses who are here to activate the priestesses that are going to be out there doing their missions for Earth. But it's also really for just women who want to develop a better relationship with themselves. We are going to be working a lot with like the mother and father wound as we come back into balance and working to develop a more secure attachment and even learning about boundaries throughout this course. So, if you want to have a better connection to yourself, I have all the steps in there.
It goes quantum. It goes quantum when we do this journey with ourselves. Thank you so much for offering this and stepping up as a teacher, as the priestess that you are, and assisting women in becoming the best versions of themselves. This is a beautiful time for this on the planet. It is needed now. It is the voice of love that is so needed, the rise of the divine feminine. It is a role model world. So be that role model of the divine feminine. Work with Bevan. That kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Work with Bevan on the divine feminine. And she will help you come home to yourself.
Mhm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, as we close our conversation, Bevan, I want to have you take a look at the collective. It's been a whopper of a year
Mhm.
and share your vision of New Earth. Do you have that vision you can share with us?
Yes, I feel like, well, my vision might be a little bit different from the collective that I'm seeing here, but for me, coming into New Earth is really about recreating old paradigms and stepping into new paradigms. And part of that is giving every man, woman, and child out there the ability to have emotional intelligence and emotionally regulate themselves so that they can make informed, powerful choices. And part of the my gift to New Earth is grounding in generational wealth, and that is how I'm going to be doing it. But I know that a lot of people in this collective have the New Earth contracts to share their voice and to share their art and to share their auric signature out there with the world. And we also have a lot of people who are New Earth temple builders in the future. So they're going to be creating their own mystery schools and healing temples, which is very exciting. And everyone's version of New Earth is going to be a little different because there's so many different collectives. But what I'm seeing right now is like these golden New Earth contracts that are like for healing businesses and even like med bed technology in the more distant future, and also the galactic ambassadors, the galactic bridges, who will be liaising galactic information as we start to step into these higher timelines of having higher dimensional energy on Earth.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I hold those new earth visions with you. It is a time for us to get unstuck and to get busy, and we're calling all hands on deck. So, this is a call for all who are ready, and you may not have the clarity, but just know that you've got this beautiful container with Bevan to unfold yourself, to come home to yourself, unlock yourself, and get unstuck and step into your mission of light and love. It is a beautiful journey, and we're looking forward for everyone to step up and show up in that way. Thank you so much, Bevan. This has really been a beautiful time with you today. Are there any final thoughts?
Just thank you so much for having me. It's been a goal of mine for a couple of years, and I finally am here. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and share my voice.
Thank you for sharing your voice. Thank you for sharing your light. And we thank everyone for joining us in this conversation today. We hope that you are feeling empowered and ready to shine your magnificent light even brighter. Thank
Yeah,
you, Bevan, and thank you, everyone.
thank
Namaste.
you.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.